Dear Diary, thankfully we returned to form after that derby loss at Swansea, and it has continued since the FA Cup win over Watford as well, winning in the league away from home against Nottingham Forest and Wigan. Those wins have put us up to 7th, 2 points behind Norwich and Sheffield United, so the playoffs are now a real possibility, maybe even more. As well as that, we are taking on a struggling Everton in the FA Cup quarters. That game being at home is great for us, so maybe we can go through the final four. Let's hope we can achieve both goals, even with Joe Ralls taking a holiday. Of all the times to bugger off. Until next time. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 40 of FMOE here on Shaun Does FM with Cardiff City. I hope you are doing well and coming up today to big clashes in the latter stages of this first season in charge of our new club. First off, we host the league leaders in Southampton, looking to maybe sneak our way into a playoff spot for the end of the season, and then off the back of an away trip to take on a struggling Luton Town. We take on Everton also at home in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So if you are looking forward to today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated, but we have only played 2 games off the back of the second one in the last episode at the end of last week. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Early on in that episode, we did threaten to enter a little bit of a rough patch, backing up a loss to Sheffield United with one against Swansea in the Championship, but thankfully bounced back in some off-camera games against Norwich and Birmingham before we did defeat Watford thanks to a Ruben Colwill goal to go through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup against Everton. But that is going to be the second game of today's episode. We'll preview that one off the back of showing you guys some highlights from that game against Luton Town. But first up, we take on the league leaders in Southampton. Vladimir Petkovic is in charge of these guys these days. They have quite a few other players that would have been there at the start of the save, the former Premier League outfit, and they are playing a 3-5-3 it does look like. It's going to be interesting to see how we do get on. Playing a 5-2-1-2 it does look like, so it'll be interesting to see how we do get on against the former Premier League outfit. At home, hopefully we can continue our good recent run of form and take that into that FA Cup quarterfinal where we do take on Everton, but unfortunately, through a bit of my own misjudgment, we are missing one of our key players here at Cardiff for the games in today's episode, and that is Joe Ralls. He got a little bit tired, and unfortunately I clicked on the rest button in the training part of the menus here on Football Manager, and he went on a 3-week holiday. He's had the first week of that over those last games that we have played since the last episode, but is still out for a little while longer. So unfortunately, we are missing our club captain for these games coming up in today's episode. Good midfielder he has been for us as well so far in the save, and that is definitely not going to be useful for us in the FA Cup, as Connor Coventry does carry a suspension into that quarterfinal. So we're certainly going to be weaker in the midfield for that clash against Everton, but as I said, we'll preview that one a little bit later on today. But that is the big news going into today's episode. Joe Ralls has buggered off for a holiday, not an ideal time as we try to start and position ourselves potentially for a run in the playoffs this season if we make it. I'd say we'd be a team that no one really wants to play because we would have had to be in quite good form throughout our time in charge if we are to make the playoffs. So he could be quite a dangerous opponent if we do get the chance to play in those come the end of the season. But first up, we need to pick up a few more wins and try and sneak inside that top 6, and we'll come back shortly with the team sheets from Cardiff City Stadium as we take on top of the table Southampton. And here are the team sheets for this championship clash in today's episode. In terms of our centre-back partnership for this one, we have gone for Urquhart Hyde and Nelson, with McGuinness still being quite injury prone, as well as that Patterson comes in for Ralls, and Atete is also on the bench. We are going to start Tresoldi in place of him because at the moment he is quite injury prone. Southampton top of the table. Hopefully we can take some points off them here at home. And it's only taken 1 minute for us to get our first highlight in this one. It is a throw-in in our favour yet again. We are in the all blue, and Southampton in their traditional white and red striped top there with the black shorts. We nearly got a chance there for Tresoldi through his head, but we do now knock the ball about outside of the box, and Ben Hardy makes his way down that right-hand side, just retreats a little bit. Now Patterson might unleash one. What a goal that is from Alex Patterson. Only 2 minutes into this one, and we grab an early 1-0 lead here against top of the table Southampton. Some individual brilliance from a player we probably wouldn't have played otherwise in this game. Just that holiday from Joe Rousey. Takes a good first touch there, no one near him. Thumps that one top left corner. What a goal to put us 1-0 up. And we go forward to the 25-minute mark for our next highlight in this one. It is Southampton here on the attack, but thankfully Ben Hardy does head that one away, and Colwell does well there to get us on the counter-attack, as we like to do, but certainly helped out by that early goal, that stunner through Alex Patterson, that has given us a 1-0 lead, and since then we have just slightly edged things. Southampton haven't offered too much so far in terms of attack. Now Coventry pings this one out to Galasai. Colwell gets a shot off, but unfortunately that one is blocked well by Jean Bednarek. We will have a corner though off the back of this, as Crystal Palace, also near the top end of the table, take a 1-0 lead over Blackburn. Unfortunately though, we can't link up with anyone from the subsequent corner, albeit still have the ball here just outside of the box, but we are certainly on the retreat. Still 1-0 up coming up to the half-hour mark, albeit a few minutes off the back of that previous throw-in. Southampton do now have another one. Unfortunately, we can't quite put enough pressure there on Hermoso to get that ball nice and high up the pitch. Bazunu in goal for Southampton. Very, very promising goalkeeper in Football Manager. And now Southampton on the front foot. Good chance here for Armstrong. Tries to take that over the goalkeeper. Good idea, but then puts it into the side netting. Still 1-0 up just past the half-hour mark. And that is half-time in this championship clash, and we currently hold a 1-0 lead over the leaders thanks to that brilliant goal early on from Alex Patterson. From there, as you can see, especially the second part of that first half, Southampton did start to assert their authority, but thankfully have not put the ball in the back of the net just yet. So we do hold on to our 1-0 lead, and saying that, we are going to make a change at half-time. Connor Coventry did pick up a yellow card, so I think it's a safe idea here to take him off. Xavier Simons can come on for Coventry off the back of picking up a yellow card late in that first half, but apart from that, fairly happy with how this one is going so far, and hopefully we can hold on here and pick up all 3 points. And not too long into the second half, we do have an early free kick here. Not too sure he's going to be taking this with no Rails in the team. It is Colwell, who has been quite key for us so far this season. Tries to put that top left corner. That is a good save there from Bazunu in goal for Southampton, but we will still have a corner which Jacques is going to put into the mixer, but unfortunately Urhog Hyde cannot win that one, and Southampton might actually get a decent chance here potentially on the counter-attack. Adam Armstrong right on the edge of the box, but thankfully some good work there from Mateju, gets the ball back for us, and we still hold a 1-0 lead early in the second half, but yet again Southampton here might be on the attack through their wing-back in this situation in Maxwell Cornet. He plays a nice ball over the top here. Good chance again for Adam Armstrong, but thankfully this time Poussin makes a nice save, so we are clinging on here to our 1-0 lead 10 minutes into the second half. And not too long off the back of those first few highlights in the second half, we are going to make a change at the hour mark. Jacques is down to a red heart. Callum Robinson will come on for him. And with 20 minutes to go, I think it is time for us to ring a few more changes in this one. 2 players are down to red hearts. Also, Tresoldi not going too well, so Keona Tete can come off the bench, but also Ihatalen will come on for Ruben Colwell. And in terms of someone to come on for Patterson down to a red heart, it might be Mark McGuinness, and we'll move Curtis Nelson forward to be a defensive midfielder for these last 20 minutes and hopefully hold on to this 1-0 lead. And we've just entered the last 5 minutes of this game. Very little action since the opening stages of the first half in terms of highlights. As you can see, Southampton certainly got right on top of that game in terms of stats, but in the end, Adam Armstrong just couldn't put the ball past Poussin in goal. He had a very good game with a 7.8, only outperformed by our goal scorer in Alex Patterson very early on with that absolute wonder strike from outside the box. and that is the difference maker as we do beat top of the table Southampton by a scoreline of 1-0. As you can tell by the stats, they did get FM'd in that one, but thankfully that does happen to us occasionally. It has happened so far in this save, so we'll definitely take it when it does present the opportunity to us and we pick up 3 more points on this decent little run of form that we are in at the moment. Hopefully continue that against Luton Town going into that FA Cup quarter-final, where we will take on Everton. And as you can see, that win does just sneak us inside the top 6. So all of a sudden, after we did start here in 21st place, we are in a playoff spot with 9 games left in the season. Hopefully we grab 3 more points against Luton Town. We'll come back shortly, show you guys the highlights from that one before we take on Everton in that FA Cup quarter-final. And we are back with the highlights from that game in between the two. In today's episode, this was against Luton Town away from home. Nice ball there from Mateju, and Tresoldi gets his first goal for the club after a little bit of an injury spell since he did come here on loan, and puts us 1-0 up in the first half. That was the scoreline at half-time. And then 15 minutes into the second half, a bit fortunate there, Ihataran coming in for Galasai in this game, puts that one in for Jakalis, and we do grab a 2-0 lead, albeit not too long off the back of that. Adebayo just puts that one under the post with that good chip over Pussine to give Luton a chance, but thankfully we did hold on for a 2-1 win. And as you can see, stats-wise, yet again, we did kind of FM a team. I think that's something which might happen a little bit more with this fluid counter-attacking style that we are using, but we won't complain. It was a game we were expected to be picking up the points from, and thankfully, despite the fact we did not get that many shots overall, we pretty much matched Luton Town with the shots on target and did pick up a 2-1 win. So thankfully, that does keep us inside of a playoff spot prior to taking on Everton in this FA Cup quarter-final. We are on 63 points. Coventry can go above us with their game in hand, but still, we're in quite a good position, especially with our goal differential as well. That could be a key factor as we do get into the race for that playoff spot, which might be something interesting that we need to keep an eye on come the latter stages of this week here on the channel. But we are about to take part in an FA Cup quarter-final, and it is against an Everton team who are struggling in the Premier League. They recently appointed Wayne Rooney as their manager, but they are down in 19th. If we bring up the bigger picture so you might be able to see it, they are only 2 points away from safety, but in pretty awful form, having only picked up 4 wins so far this season. And we, of course, did beat Watford in the 5th round at the end of last week, also at home. So in theory, this should be a tie, which is a little bit easier, but we'll see what does happen with this one. And in terms of our squad, as mentioned earlier, still no Joe Rowles, and also Connor Coventry is out with a suspension. And Andy Runamoto, of course, got injured in the episode at the end of last week, so we are certainly light in terms of defensive midfielders. It does mean that Pedersen and Simons are going to have to start in that area, so hopefully they last a full game. That could be our one weakness going into this one, but we'll come back shortly with the team sheets as we take on Everton in an FA Cup quarter-final. And here are the team sheets for this quarter-final. As mentioned before, our midfield is a little bit weak today with Simons and Pedersen in for Rowles and Coventry. But apart from that, it is our usual best 11 that we are playing here at the moment. With Cardiff City, there are Everton with a 4-2-3-1. Quite a few recognisable names in that team, but hopefully in a bad patch of form, we can make our way through to the semis. And it's taken until the 15-minute mark for anything to really happen in this one. Free kick there to Colwell. I think Atete there got brought down, trying to put that one in the back of the net. Might be some dodgy refereeing going on there, but a big chance, but unfortunately still 0-0 coming up to the 20-minute mark. And just past the half-hour mark, we do get our next highlight in this one. It is a free kick in our favour. McGuinness heads that one, but just wide of the post. As you can see, Everton picking up a lot of yellow cards, but so far not doing too much. Looks like we're going to be going into the sheds, locked up at 0-0. And that is half-time in this FA Cup quarter-final. 2 chances there from free kicks for us. For apart from that, and a little late surge there from Everton in the first half, it was a very average first half. Neither team getting a shot on target, albeit still not quite sure what happened in that first highlight, where it looked like Atete did get brought down inside the box off of the ball. But nonetheless, we go into the sheds locked up at 0-0 and not really playing that well. We are going to make one change at half-time. Curtis Nelson on a 6.4. Urhog Hyde can come on for him. That will be our sole changer at halftime. And hopefully we can sneak our way through to this FA Cup semi-final. And 5 minutes into the second half, we are going to be somewhat forced here into a substitution. Ruben Colwell has picked up an orange injury. With the situation now in the championship table, we do not want to risk him because, as we've seen in the past, we don't play quite so well when he is not in the team. Everton can come on for him 5 minutes into the second half. And a few minutes shy of the hour mark, we do get our first highlight here in the second half. The ball gets thrown in there to McGuinness, but he plays that one all the way back. 2% in goal, still been in quite good form for us. Here's the man on loan from Brentford, but unfortunately Everton there do get the ball back, but good work there from Ben Hardy. He also plays that one back. 2%, Patterson tries to put a ball over the top, but unfortunately can't quite link up there with Keona Tete. And Luke Shaw, one of the new additions to this Everton team, will play that one back to Jordan Pickford. And now Donny van der Beek is on the ball. They'll get this one out to young Patterson at right back. And now Capaldo, nice ball in behind there for Datro Fofana. And unfortunately this time puts in with a pretty average effort in goal. And Datro Fofana will give Everton a 1-0 lead here at the Cardiff City Stadium, just shy of the hour mark. And that is unfortunate, because they're not that good a team in the Premier League, but so far we haven't done too much in this one. Good finish from Fofana, and they do grab a 1-0 lead here, just shy of the hour mark, and it might be time for us to maybe shake things up a little bit more in terms of substitutes. Ben Hardy struggling, so Perry in can come on for him, and also Jacques down to a red heart, Callum Robinson to come on for him. That's 4 of our subs used now as we are 1-0 down with just under a half hour left. And only a few minutes off the back of that opening goal to Everton, we do have a throw in here inside the final third, and Robinson plays this one to Ihatalan right on the edge of the box. They are going for a few dirty little tactics here, Everton, it does look like, with all of the yellow cards and some of the tackling, but they do get the ball back there in that situation, albeit good work there from Robinson to get it back for us now. Simons, nice ball over here for Atete. He gets a little pull in the back there. Now, would he have been one-on-one with the goalkeeper without that tug? This looks like it might be a red card. It is a red card to Diego Coppola. Off the back of that, we are going to go to a positive mindset, but that is a big game changer. 20 minutes left in this one, and we are playing against 10 men, 1-0 down. And we've just entered the last 10 minutes of this one, and I think it is time for us to make our final substitution today. Mateju only going okay, down to a red heart. Dujon Sterling will come on for him, and hopefully we'll just move to a bit more of a positive mindset here and grab an equaliser at the very least against these 10 men of Everton. And we're just entering the last 5 minutes of this game. We have thrown a few more of our players onto attacking duties, the wing backs as well as the attacking midfielder, and we do get a chance here inside the last couple of minutes, but Everton are able here to try and play out from the back. And now Datro Fofana, the goal scorer, tries to do something here down that left-hand side, and he is here inside the final third, but Sterling marks him pretty well. Now McNeil starts to cut inside, might get a shot off, but thankfully Pissin there makes a decent save. But it does look like if we're going to get anything out of this game, we need to do it shortly. A free kick here, and we do get the ball back off the back of that, but unfortunately Patterson there with a bit of a loose first touch. Pickford will boot this one deep, and McGuinness will get possession back for us here as we have 5 minutes of added time to try and grab a goal back against Everton. This would not be a good result for me against a team, considering I am a Liverpool supporter. But Tete inside the box, can he find that man inside the inner box? He does. Callum Robinson, who is not much of a goal scorer, at least since I've joined the club, he puts that one away. And inside the first minute of injury time, we do grab an equaliser, and off the back of that, we might just drop things back a little bit, at least in terms of how some of these guys are playing. They'll drop them back to support instead of attack. We are going to stay on a positive mindset with that one-man advantage. But finally, the 10 men of Everton do concede a goal here, right on the brink of injury time, starting at Tete, this time the provider, and Robinson just sweeps that one home. And all of a sudden, things could get a little bit tasty here in injury time, potentially. We do just cut out a highlight there with that encouragement, but we have now only 1 minute left of injury time, and we do have a throw in here inside the final third header there from Atete. Need to get my words out right, but that one goes just high and wide, but we do get shown the highlight immediately. from the restarters. Jordan Pickford, no doubt, is going to take his sweet, sweet time over this one as Everton try to hold on to this result and take it. I think it would be to extra time in a quarter-final as they are down a man, but we do get the ball back here, and Perry Ing plays this one up to Galasai, back to Ing, who is fairly fresh, having come off the bench in the second half. Can we grab a quick double and put the pain here on Everton? Keona Tete will chip Jordan Pickford. He goes to the ground. He's got tiny arms. He shouldn't have done that. And Keona Tete has put us in front right on the brink of full time. We grab 2 goals in injury time. We are now going to go back to defend on both of our defensive midfielders. And we might have just escaped here and made our way through to the semis of the FA Cup. Atete chips it over Jordan Pickford, as I said. Once he hit the ground, didn't have much of a chance with his tiny arms. And that makes it 2-1 Cardiff after it was 1-0 Everton as we did enter the 90th minute, albeit now Everton are in position, but good tackle here from Ihatalan, and Galasai plays this one back to Perry, and yet again we are on the attack, albeit Everton clear that one away somewhat, but it's well squared there for Keona Tete. He grabs a second goal, apparently he's onside, and that puts the cherry on top. Everton collapse late in this one after being 1-0 up in the 90th minute. We make it 3-1 right prior to full time, and a little bit of added time I'm not too sure that there should have been, but we were 2-1 up, I suppose. Good work there when we get the ball forward to Atete. He grabs a very late double, and it looks like we are going to escape with a 3-1 win here against Everton. All of our goals coming in injury time. No doubt Wayne Rooney will have a big old cry over that one, but as I said, being a Liverpool fan, I quite enjoyed that result. That was a good comeback. Also helped, though, by that red card. No doubt that was a big turning point with 20 minutes to go, potentially a harsh red card, but we took it and made the most of it with those goals to Robinson and the double to Atete. And of course, he did get the assist for that first goal, so it does mean we have made our way through to the final 4 of the FA Cup, and we need to come back shortly and see who we do get for that one, which will be coming up in tomorrow's episode. And we're just about to enter the semi-final draw for the FA Cup off the back of that late comeback there against the 10 men of Everton. Things that you do love to see, but I did forget to mention earlier, we have had our youth intake here at Cardiff City for this season. As you can see, not a lot of good prospects in this one. You can see the players that we have offered contracts to, but the 2 who might be of interest. The first is Shaun Jones. He is a striker who can also play out on both sides of the wings. 1-star current ability and 3.5-star potential for him. And the other player with some decent potential is an Englishman in Jeb Putty. He is a centre-back, quite tall at 1.93 metres tall, but overall not too sure if this year's youth intake here at Cardiff, our first one since we have made the switch from Linfield, is going to be any good. But we are about to take part in that semi-final draw for the FA Cup, and as you can see, the other teams in the hunt, Liverpool, Chelsea and West Ham. West Ham doing us potentially a bit of a favour as they bet Manchester City on the same day that we played Everton, so I think it is fair to say ideally we would take on West Ham United out of those 4 teams, but it is time for us to get involved in the semi-final draw. Yet again, for some reason, Frank Lampard is going to suffer through doing this off the back of watching Everton get bundled out, albeit I suppose he's a former Chelsea player, so it kind of makes sense. But we'll get this going at 3 times speed and see who we do get drawn against of these 3 Premier League teams. First out of the hat is West Ham, definitely the team that we do want in the semi-final draw, but they will take on Chelsea in an all-London affair at Wembley. Of course, we do go to Wembley for this as well, but we are going to be taking on Liverpool in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So we do take on the 2 teams from Merseyside, but it is going to be very, very tough for us. I think that might be the reality check in the FA Cup this season, but still have done quite well to make it to the final 4. But we might face our toughest test so far in this save, as we are going to take on Liverpool in that semi-final of the FA Cup, albeit we do get a trip to Wembley, and it should be helping the club out a little bit as well in terms of the finances. So we are going to be taking on Liverpool tomorrow in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. As you can see, currently they are second in the Premier League, a few points behind Man City, but also a fair way in front of Tottenham and Arsenal as well, and they still have some key players the likes of Mohamed Salah. Just have a quick look at this lineup. Jurgen Klopp is still in charge, and as you can see there on the right hand side, still quite a few of the players who are currently at Liverpool, albeit a few changes on the right hand side of defence and in the midfield as well. But that is going to be a very, very tough task for us if we are to make our way through to an FA Cup final. But we'll bring you guys that in tomorrow's episode. And also, we need to find a game around that, I think, because we're going to be getting into the latter stages of the championship by that stage, and we could be in a good position to hopefully make the playoffs. And the games either side of that are both quite important. Blackburn at home, currently in third, and Coventry away, currently in fifth. I think the more interesting of those games being away from home might be the Coventry one, so I think we will do a Liverpool and Coventry double in tomorrow's episode, and from there we can see if we need to come back for those last two games in the championship season, if they do have any implications on us making the playoffs, and from there we might have to come back as well for a playoff episode, or maybe if we can continue some good form, we could potentially sneak our way into an automatic promotion spot, albeit 9 points behind Crystal Palace with only 8 games left in the season. That might be a little bit too much of an ask, but that will do it for today's episode. 2 good wins there over top of the table, Southampton and then Everton in the FA Cup quarters. If you enjoyed that one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow for that double header, Liverpool in the FA Cup semis and Coventry in the Championship, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.